Yeah.
Now play that guitar over there.
People are programmed to accept so little, but the possibilities are so great.
Fingers. I tell you, the guy's a phony.
Phony, huh?
As a $3 bill.
Says who?
Says me, Amy Archer.
Yeah, you've been saying that as long as I know you. Jerry, Big Bear, did I hurt your feelings? Look at me.
We're just waiting for everybody to go to sleep. That's what we're gonna kill you.
It's none of your goddamn business.
Please welcome Jennifer Jason Lee.
Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you so very much. It is very meaningful for me to be here tonight, to have my work recognized, and to be here not only as an actress, but as a Jew. It's very poignant for this to be my first time in Israel. Because Israel has been on my mind every day. I was raised in Los Angeles, and we weren't religious at all, but we were still raised to be very proud Jews. My mother would give us apples with honey for a sweet New Year. We called her Ima, and every once in a while she would raise a glass and say, "Next year in Jerusalem." I was thinking about the directors I've worked with and seeing the reel, and I've been so fortunate to work with just incredible directors in my career, and most of them are Jewish. So I'm just going to read a few names so you can feel it too. Robert Altman, David Cronenberg, the Coen brothers, Charlie Kaufman, Sam Mendes, the Safdie brothers, even Amy Heckerling. And I think that Quentin really deserves to be an honorary Jew. I only learned recently that we're such a small part of the population, but we certainly are mighty, and I just love that. So, I'm kind of overflowing with things I want to tell you, stories I want to share, support and love that I want you all to feel. And I thought I would tell you about the first time I was ever on film. It was just the back of my head, and I didn't have any dialogue. But my stepfather, Reza Madi, was directing a movie in Israel. And it was called Death of a Stranger, and it starred Gila Almagor. Yeah. And also Jason Robards. And it was called Death of a Stranger, and it was never released. But it was about a PLO terrorist. And my stepfather's young Israeli assistant was just telling him the script was terrible and unrealistic and sentimental, just dreck. And so my stepfather brought my mother over to Israel, and that was her first time in Israel to rewrite the screenplay. And she was talking to Gabriella, and the assistant, and Gabriella said, you know, if you really like things to be authentic, I can get you through a friend of a friend of a friend, and we can sit down with some PLO members. My mother was very afraid, but she said, yeah, let's do it. So they went in secret. It was very hush-hush, very clandestine, to East Jerusalem, and they met in this tiny room, and all that the members of the PLO knew was that it was an American production. They didn't know my mother was Jewish. They certainly didn't know Gabriella was Israeli. And my mother started to ask questions to get some authentic dialogue, and thus the things coming out of their mouths were just so horrific and upsetting. And finally, Gabriella, she couldn't take it anymore, and so she just said, excuse me, have you ever met an Israeli? And they said, no, of course not, no. And they were quite fired up, and so was Gabby at this point, and Gabby said, well, maybe you should. If you're gonna have so much hatred, I think you should know your enemies. You should know your enemies better. And suddenly the mood changed in the room and got very tense. And a man turned to her and said, where are you from? And Gabby, of course, is very forthright, so she just said, I'm from Jerusalem. And then my mother was just petrified, and everything was very different suddenly. And then they turned to my mother, and they said, are you Jewish? And my mother really hesitated. And then she said, yes, I am. And I'm so proud, like that. I just find that so moving. And then there was, the next thing my mother did was really shocking, but there was this young girl who was really, really full of rage and angry, but so young, so radicalized, and so young. And my mother said, I want you to come to the set. And she didn't want to come, and my mother said it would really mean a lot to me if you came. And so she came. Gabriella arranged a car for her, and she came to the set, and she came again, and she came again. And she and my mother became friends for years. And to me, it's just really emblematic of the beauty of film, and how you can, through film, it just brings people together with such completely different viewpoints, and it can really change you. A film can change your life, it can change your perspective, and to be here tonight, this year, is phenomenal for me. And I want to say that I pray every day for the release of the hostages, in the morning when I get up, and in the night when I go to bed, and probably 5 times an hour every single day. For the war to end and the hostages to come home. And in this difficult time, I just want to say to you all, Hazek, Vermatz, and Tak Zero Otam Habaitan Akshad.
Jennifer, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, let's do it.
The Jerusalem Film Festival is officially open.
What they offer is a vision of love, of longing and loss, hope expectation of wonder. Something that no other art form can do. It's pure film. And a reminder of what life and art are all about.